Hey there, this is Women on the Brink. I'm your host, Chris Jeffrey, a registered acupuncturist and wellness advisor with a passion for helping women live happier and more balanced lives. When I'm away from work, I'm usually outside in nature, either walking the seawall or I'm hiking in the mountains. And like many of you, my life has been filled with moments of hardship, some that I thought I couldn't overcome and really left me questioning my own strength. But through these challenges, I discovered resilience, courage, and a renewed sense of purpose. So I'm here to share not just my journey, but the lessons I've learned, and to remind you that no matter what obstacles come your way, there's always a path forward. And just to let you know, this podcast is not prescriptive, it's an offering. So please take what resonates with you and leave the rest. So, welcome back to Women on the Brink. This is a space for every woman who feels like she's standing on the edge. And maybe that's the edge of burnout, maybe it's the edge of clarity, or it could be the edge of becoming something more aligned, more true, and more you. If you've been with me for a while now, you know this podcast isn't just about venting. It's about seeing the bigger picture and naming the real weight we carry, and sometimes fiercely choosing something different, something that actually works for us. So today, I want to offer a kind of anchor point, a moment to reflect on what Women on the Brink has been holding space for up to now and where we're heading next. So we've named the stressors, not just the surface level stuff, but the deep, cumulative pressure that comes from being a woman expected to do it all, like work and nurture and plan and smile and perform, all while holding centuries of inherited messaging that says we should make it look easy. And we've talked about the invisible labor, the people pleasing, the chronic second guessing, the myth of balance, the burden of being nice, and the ways so many women are quietly unraveling under the pressure to be everything to everyone. And yes, we've acknowledged that things have changed over the last 100 years. We can vote, we can lead, we can choose paths our grandmothers could barely dream of. But having more options doesn't necessarily mean we have more support. Evolution isn't the same as liberation. The systems underneath, such as the patriarchy and even things like perfectionism and emotional suppression, still run deep. So, yes, we've made progress, but no, we're not quite there yet. Now, as an acupuncturist who has worked with hundreds of patients over the years, I can tell you this. Most of the conditions I see in the clinic are the result of stress, but not just the I had a bad day stress, but more the long-term chronic internalized stress that builds up and shows itself through the body. But here's the important part. Because each of us has unique life experiences and also a unique set of DNA, stress shows up differently in each of us. So I often say that while most of us women share the same anatomy, our physiology, how our body functions and responds, is uniquely ours. And that's why this path you're going on is going to be yours. It's not your mother's, it's not your best friend's, it's not your daughter's, it's yours. So, yes, we can look for shared tools. Yes, we can learn from each other, but your healing, your values, your transformation, it has to come from within. And that's why getting rooted in your own wisdom is everything. It's essential, not optional if you want to move from surviving to thriving. So I just want to put this to you. Like, what makes you resilient? What allows you not to just survive, but to flourish? So I'm going to offer you this image that I brought up previously. Women are like trees. We can only grow tall, strong, beautiful, and grounded above ground if we are deeply rooted below ground. And those roots, they're made of our values and our belief system, which are the quiet truths we hold about ourselves and the world around us. And when we're unclear on what we value, or when we're operating from someone else's blueprint, it's really like trying to grow a tree on sand. There's no structure, there's no anchor, there's no protection or nutrients. But when we start identifying what really matters to us, like, for me, I really value honesty. I value compassion, sovereignty, creativity, rest, connection. We begin to stabilize and we start to align. And here's the deeper layer to that root system. We have to ask ourselves, are the beliefs I'm living by even mine? Like, do I believe I have to earn the time to rest? Do I believe I need to shrink to be liked? Do I think boundaries make me mean or difficult? Do I only feel valuable when I'm productive? Because if those beliefs and values cause you to feel small or invisible, then the fruit on your tree will always be bitter or burnt out or broken down. So today's invitation is this: start getting curious about your values. And maybe you say something like, I really value my community. Beautiful. But now go deeper. What about your community do you value? Is it connection? Is it belonging? Is it the companionship? Is it a shared purpose or safety or maybe even just laughter? And then do the same thing for every area in your life: your work, your relationships, your health, and your home. And then ask yourself, what do I believe about myself and the world around me? And most importantly, are those beliefs still true for me? Maybe you believe you're supposed to play small so other people won't feel threatened. Maybe you believe that being a good woman means being polite and pleasant and quiet and not frustrated or angry or tired. But if those beliefs are keeping you stuck or silent or even worse, sick, it's time to update your roots. Because when we're rooted in values that reflect who we actually are and beliefs that serve who we're becoming, everything changes. We stop bending to accommodate the things or the people that drain us, and we start protecting what feeds us. And we create boundaries that aren't walls, but they're filters. And those filters only let in what nourishes us. This is how we build self-worth. It's not by hustling for approval, it's by honoring these roots. And this is how we actually know who we are. And from that knowing, we become the kind of woman who can handle the storms because we're deeply anchored in ourselves. We become a woman who bends but doesn't break. So if you're feeling on the brink of not feeling so great today, just ask yourself, what are my roots made of? And do they reflect the woman I'm striving to become? And here's the big reminder: we need tools to stay connected to this work. Because life happens, right? We forget, we get stuck, we get busy. Sometimes we get a little lazy or overwhelmed or maybe just jammed up with so much information. And there's no space sometimes to process all of this stuff, right? So, this is why I like to say that growth is a tidal experience. It's not a straight line, it's an ebb and a flow. So sometimes you're expanded, sometimes you're integrating, sometimes you're just catching your breath, and it's all okay. And on this note, I actually think that many of us live in survival mode. It's not quite survival, it's not quite thriving, but it's sort of a tense middle space where we're pushing through or we're performing or we're holding it all together. And this happens, often at our own expense. So on the outside, it actually looks like we're really capable, but on the inside, it can feel like depletion. And this is the zone where so many women on the brink find themselves, doing what needs to be done and staying on and managing work, caregiving, expectations, but actually losing touch with their own vitality in the process. And you know what? You're in survival mode when you feel that exhaustion that doesn't go away after you've had a good night's sleep, or the pent-up emotions that just get tucked away because there's no time to process them. And like me over the years, a body that just keeps whispering for rest and for space and for something different. So, recognizing this mode is actually a kind of awakening in itself. It's the moment we begin to ask, like, what am I surviving? Name it. And what would it take to truly thrive? That question is a powerful place to begin. So if you're feeling ready to go a little deeper beyond the surface level stress management or beyond the just breathe advice, this is where Women on the Brink is heading. We're still going to bring in the foundational stuff because it's all really connected. But I want to start offering more of the soul deep work that helps you grow your roots so wide and strong that no storm can shake you. And to support that, I've created a set of journaling prompts that you can download and you can use whenever you need to reconnect with your roots. It's called Rooted in You, and it's on womenonthebrink.net website under resources. So use it anytime you need a reset or if you just want to remember who the hell you are. So, I mean, if you had a moment where this root work has changed something for you, big or small, I'd really love to hear about it and maybe even bring you on the show to talk about it in a future episode. So, yeah, let me know if you want to meet, chat, collaborate, anything, because I really feel, I mean, the one thing I've learned from doing this podcast is that we women, we grow stronger when we grow together. So, yeah, please reach out. Q. Jack Johnson, better when we're together. Thanks for joining, and I want you to know that this isn't just a podcast, this is a movement. So share this information with your friends, and let's go, ladies.